Hello and welcome. If you're watching this video, you've probably come to it via my blog. And if you're one of the 6 people who have read my blog, thank you so much for reading. So what I wanted to do is a video that accompanies this blog. If you're anything like me, when I was first learning, I would follow tutorials and get to the end and get a big fat nothing. It didn't work. So in order to reach more people, to help more people, I'm going to go through this blog step by step. So just to answer a few questions, maybe clarify, the blog was kind of getting long as it was, so I'm going to do a video just showing basically everything that is in the blog. So what you'll need to follow along are 3 things. You'll need a GitHub account. So go onto GitHub, sign up. If you have, an email, a computer, and hands, basically, you can sign up for a GitHub account. It's free. It's easy. Once you sign on, you will go to your page. This is my GitHub page. It looks like this. So, and this is basically how we're going to host our website. GitHub has a service called GitHub Pages, where you can host any static website absolutely free. By static, I mean it doesn't have a back end. It doesn't have a database associated with it. It's just like old 90s style web pages with just text and about as interactive as it gets, as you can have somebody send you an email. So first thing, let's go back to, I'm going to close this, I don't need it. Go back to my terminal. So you need a GitHub account, a bash terminal. If you're on Linux or Mac, you have one. Whether you want it or not, you have one. If you're on Windows, you need to install a bash program. There's a way to get bash onto a Windows machine. You'll have to Google it. I don't use Windows, so can't really help you with that. And then the third thing you'll need is a version of Git on your computer. So to see if you have it, you probably don't, but just type git -- version. You should see something like that. The version number doesn't matter as long as you don't get something like an error or saying, telling you how to install it. Okay, so once you have your GitHub account, the hardest part of this is basically, the website itself is 4 lines of code. It's that easy. So what we're going to do, I'm going to go to this is the hardest part here. So what I'm going to do is, this is my page. You want to find the repositories. You can go to your repositories page and click on repositories. There's all kinds of places where this green button shows up. Just click on it. This is how you make a new repository. Okay, so I'm going to name it website because I'm very clever like that. And you don't need to worry about anything else. You don't need to read me. You don't need any of this other stuff. Just create repository. Okay, and then basically GitHub shows you how to get your stuff onto GitHub. This is basically what you type in. We're going to do a little bit of modified version of this because we don't need a README. So we're at that part. So basically what we're going to do now is go back to our terminal. Now that we have the repo, we're going to do this on the actual terminal on our computer. So GitHub is where you store it. You make it on your computers, and if you push it to GitHub just in case something happens. Okay? So here are the 4 lines of code. It's mkdir. That makes a folder. Okay? We're going to call it website because that's what I named it on GitHub. Okay? Then this isn't necessary, but you can just list, and you can see that right here in my home folder is website. Okay? Now we cd or change directory into website. Now all I did was type WE because there are no other directories in my home folder that start with WE. I hit tab and my operating system knows where I want to go. So now I'm in the website directory and it's empty. So now this is where it gets a little confusing. In bash, if you want to make a folder, you type mkdir. If you want to make a file, you type touch. Don't ask me why they call it touch, they just do. You need to name this index.html. Okay, that's the file where we're going to write our code. Okay. Now, if you want to see, make sure it's there, you type ls again, and you'll see that inside my directory, my website directory, I have a file called index.html. Okay, so now we are going to echo hello world into our index.html. And again, I started typing I hit tab, and then it knows what I want to do. Okay, so hello world is just the traditional, let me put the exclamation point in there because I did that on my blog. Hello world is the traditional first thing you do in any programming language you learn. Your first, it's tradition, and I'm a traditional guy. I even had hookers at my bachelor party. So I'm big time into traditions. I'm just kidding, honey. I didn't really have hookers at my bachelor party. Okay, so I hit enter. And if you want to make sure it worked, you can type cat index. There it is. It's in there. So that's it. The website is done. Now, what we need to do is prepare to push it to GitHub. So I type git init. And that initializes the repository with Git. Now, there's a difference between Git and GitHub. I know this is confusing as hell. Once you do this 1,000 times and work with it a bunch, it'll become more clear, trust me. But I know initially it's confusing. Just follow along and do it 100 times and it'll become easier. Okay, so now we have our repo. If I type in git status, I'll see that I'm on my branch master, which, again, don't worry about that for right now. And I have this file. Notice it's in red. Red is bad. As you know from grammar school, red is means you're stupid. So what you want to do is add it. And if you just read, you'll see that Git tells you what you need to do. It says git add file, right? So I can type git add index, but a shortcut is git add dot or period. That says basically, okay, get everything that's in this directory, add it. Hit that and it's in there. Now if I type git status again, now it's green. Green means you're a smart kid. Okay, let me clear this so you can see. So now, once it's added, you have to commit it. And again, the terminology is crazy. Just do it. Git commit. Type commit right. -m means message. So every time you make a commit, you're going to have a message. For the first one, you can have it be anything. I put init commit, means my initial commit. Hit enter. Okay, so then you should see that. If you're not seeing that, something's wrong. Okay, so this is the hard part. So if we go back to GitHub, you'll notice that we're basically to this point here. It says git init. I didn't do the readme, I just added the dot. I did my first commit, I said init commit, but same thing. So the next thing you want to do, if you don't want to type it out, you don't want to make any mistakes, just copy it, paste it, paste it. Now the git init, now my Git repository and my Git on my local computer know about each other. That's basically how you do that, okay? I'm using, make sure you have HTTPS selected here. You could use SSH, but SSH is kind of a pain in the ass for a new person to get set up and get working right. This, you have to enter in your username and password, but it tends to be easier. It tends to work better, okay? So now that they know about each other, we need to push our website onto GitHub. Okay, so I paste that, or you can type it out. It's probably better to type it out. But if you're making mistakes, cut and paste. If it's not working, come back, redo this, cut and paste it. So git push -u means upstream. Your origin, that's the repository. Again, all this terminology is weird, I know, but it gets easier. And then master. So once you do that, you're going to have to type in your username. I'm tmax818. You type in your password. And then you should see this. If you don't see this, something happened. Something went wrong, okay? So it says branch master set up to track remote branch master from origin. So basically that's saying, okay, we're tracking this. Now, so let's go back, and if we go back here, this is our repository, right? There's my username. There's that handsome guy right there. I'll show you him again. God, he's good looking. Now, refresh. Look at that. If you see that, that means that what you just typed is now on GitHub. You click there, there's my hello world. It worked. Amazing. Okay. So now you go to get this onto the live web. This is where it gets a little bit funky. You go here to settings, click settings, and it takes you to your settings. Don't mess with this. Leave it the way it is. Scroll down. It's almost at the bottom. You'll want to get to this part where it says GitHub Pages. Okay, so go to this drop down and select Master Branch. Okay, don't do this. Master Branch. Select it. The page will reload, and it said, if you see this, success. GitHub Pages, source saved. Now, if you scroll back down to that same place, GitHub Pages is designed as your personal host organization, blah, 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 blah. Here is the website, I'm sorry, the URL for your new website. Yours will look different. Yours will say like GitHub user something. Okay, so I have my own personal website set up. So if you click on this, it may take a minute, but click on this, there you go. You now have a website live on the web. You can send it to your friends and family, show your mom. That's it. So 9 lines of code, and you've got your own website. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for reading. If you're one of the 6 people who have read my blog, thank you again. And I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you. Oh, and if you like this, or if you're watching, please leave a comment. Say something. I mean, even insult me if you want to. It would make me feel good to know that I'm not talking to myself. Thanks again. Bye-bye.